Another vaccine is on the horizon, and this time for cancer. But the first thing that you should know is that this is not a one-size-fits-all cancer vaccine that will stop you from getting a variety of cancers. In fact, it's only effective against one very specific type of cancer called glioblastoma. This new mRNA-based cancer vaccine is being announced as groundbreaking, offering a glimmer of hope in the fight against this daunting disease. The rubric is that the vaccine is a product of cutting-edge research and innovative technology, holding the potential to revolutionize the way we approach cancer treatment. Then it goes on to say that it works by reprogramming the immune system to attack tumors, a process that takes place within a staggering 48 hours. Sounds amazing, doesn't it? The first ever human clinical trial involving this vaccine was conducted on just 4 adult patients. Is it just me, or is it a little early to be touting the results of this so-called pioneering study? The article goes on to explain that the vaccine demonstrated positive outcomes in both preclinical mouse models and a clinical trial involving pet dogs with terminal brain cancer. I wonder how the dogs got the brain cancer. The cornerstone of their marketing campaign is that the body's immune system has a very rapid response to this vaccine. This swift reaction is deemed a critical factor in the vaccine's effectiveness, but everything I know about nature is that it acts slow. So something is causing the person's immune system to accelerate a response. Now let's discuss the rare cancer that this vaccine is intended to prevent. The type of brain tumors targeted by the vaccine, known as glioblastomas, are notoriously aggressive with limited treatment options, but it is very rare. So it's a really bad cancer, but there are only 3 cases per 100,000 people. For patients diagnosed with this form of brain cancer, the average survival time is only 12 to 18 months post-diagnosis. This is a terrible prognosis, but it's only 0.003% of the population that will be affected. A quick look at glioblastoma incidence across the world might help examine the causes. The countries with the highest incidence of glioblastoma are the United States, Canada, Northern and Western European countries such as Denmark, Sweden, Finland, and Switzerland. Also, Australia and Israel have similar high rates. The countries with the lowest incidence of glioblastoma include sub-Saharan African countries, Asian countries such as China and Japan, Central and South American countries, and Eastern European and Middle Eastern countries. So this made me wonder what the biggest differences are between these various countries that could be the reason for such diverse incidences across the world. The differences in glioblastoma incidence among countries can be attributed to various factors including environmental exposures, such as ionizing radiation, electromagnetic fields, and chemical carcinogens, have been implicated in the development of glioblastoma. Differences in environmental exposures, such as occupational hazards, pollution levels, and lifestyle factors such as diet and physical activity may influence glioblastoma incidence rates. Socioeconomic disparities can impact access to healthcare, diagnostic services, and preventive measures, which in turn can affect glioblastoma incidence rates. Countries with better healthcare infrastructure and higher socioeconomic status may have higher rates of glioblastoma detection and reporting. Population demographics, such as age distribution and ethnic composition, can influence glioblastoma incidence rates. For example, countries with aging populations may have higher rates of glioblastoma due to the association of glioblastoma with advancing age. So the narrative is that countries with lower instances than even 0.003% have poor diagnostic facilities, resulting in fewer diagnoses. But the fact that the countries with the highest incidence of these deadly brain tumors also have the highest incidence of technology and radiation. To me, this is a major observation. If you don't know about the risks in our wireless world, if the vaccines had no risk, then sure, everybody would want to get one, but the fact is that the mRNA technology of this cancer vaccine has similarities to the mRNA technology of the COVID vaccines, but the similarities are being mitigated while an irrelevant distinction is being made between the two. Researchers are apparently setting their sights on a phase 1 pediatric clinical trial for brain cancer. This marks the next step into the study process of this particular vaccine. If you saw my video explaining the COVID vaccine and its mechanism of action, you will understand that the vaccines cause your body to become a spike protein manufacturing machine so that an autoimmune response is elicited against the antigens that your own body makes. This is the prototype definition of an autoimmune response. I'll link that video at the end. mRNA carries genetic information from the DNA in the cell nucleus to the ribosomes in the cytoplasm. Ribosomes then use this information to produce proteins through a process called translation. These proteins bore through the cell and attach to the outside of the cell and are an antigen which causes your body to attack it. The proteins created from the COVID vaccines are the SARS-CoV-2 virus, which are being termed spike proteins. But the distinction is being made clear that even though the cancer vaccine also causes the cell to manufacture antigenic proteins, these antigens can be broadly classified into two main categories: tumor-specific antigens or TSAs. These antigens are unique to glioblastoma cells and are not typically found on normal, healthy cells, so the vaccine is inducing your body to manufacture foreign antigens that only occur on cancerous cells. Is this wise to do in a cancer-free body for the purpose of creating immunity for a very rare disease? Just something to think about. The other category of antigenic proteins stimulated by the cancer vaccine is tumor-associated antigens, TAAs. These antigens are present on the surface of both glioblastoma cells and some normal cells, although they may be overexpressed or aberrantly expressed in glioblastoma cells compared to normal cells. While vaccines such as cancer vaccines represent hope, progress, and a testament to human ingenuity, we must look at the core mechanism by which all of these mRNA vaccines work, which is that a man-made drug is causing your body to manufacture something to which you are allergic. This is the definition of autoimmune dysfunction. You have a choice. Armed with the knowledge presented in this video, I hope that you will do some independent research before rushing out for the next vaccine for a condition that you may never have. Some additional questions come to mind related to mRNA technology. From what we are seeing, it appears that all mRNA vaccines are very specific for the exact protein that cancer cells are carrying. Since each type of cancer has its own unique set of antigens and these antigens can vary widely between different types of cancer, we would need to take a different vaccine for every potential type of cancer or disease that we want to prevent. So in fact, a separate vaccine tailored to create the specific antigens expressed by each type of cancer would be necessary for effective prevention or treatment of all cancer. That's an awful lot of vaccines and corresponding poisons that we would be forcing our bodies to make so that we can irritate our immune system enough to cause a response. Medicine has gotten so far out of hand, specifically when it comes to drugs, especially vaccinations. Cancer vaccines may present risks or challenges when administered to certain other populations. These populations include immunocompromised individuals. Besides those who are immunosuppressed due to medical treatments or conditions, individuals with primary immunodeficiency disorders or underlying immune system disorders may also have impaired immune responses to cancer vaccines. These individuals may have reduced ability to mount an effective immune response against cancer cells, potentially limiting the efficacy of the vaccines or pushing the disease out of remission into an active state. I know this because a veterinarian at a pet resort gave my dog a rabies shot, and her lymphoma had visibly grown when I picked her up 3 days later. She was in complete remission before that vaccine. Elderly individuals. Aging is associated with changes in the immune system, known as immunosenescence, which can result in decreased immune function and responsiveness. Elderly individuals may have weaker immune responses to vaccines, including cancer vaccines, compared to younger individuals. This reduced responsiveness may impact the effectiveness of cancer vaccines in preventing or treating cancer in elderly populations. Patients with advanced cancer. Patients with advanced or metastatic cancer may have weakened immune systems due to the burden of their disease and prior cancer treatments. Cancer vaccines may be less effective in these patients, as their immune systems may be overwhelmed or exhausted by the extent of the cancer. Additionally, the presence of a large tumor burden may create an immunosuppressive tumor microenvironment that hinders immune responses to the vaccines. Individuals with autoimmune diseases, such as rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, or multiple sclerosis, may have dysregulated immune systems and heightened immune reactivity. Administering cancer vaccines to these individuals may increase the risk of exacerbating autoimmune reactions or triggering immune-related adverse events. Careful consideration should be given to the potential risks and benefits of cancer vaccines in patients with autoimmune diseases. Pregnant women. Safety concerns regarding the administration of vaccines, including cancer vaccines during pregnancy, exist due to potential risks to the developing fetus. Limited data are available on the safety of cancer vaccines in pregnant women, and vaccination during pregnancy is generally avoided unless the potential benefits outweigh the risks. The administration of cancer vaccines should be carefully evaluated and individualized based on factors such as the patient's immune status, underlying health conditions, cancer stage or risk, and treatment history. Close monitoring and coordination with healthcare providers are essential to ensure the safety and efficacy of cancer vaccines in these populations. The concept of cancer vaccines are still in their infancy, so keep this in mind should some emergency use or rapid approval for these vaccines put them on the market over the next couple of years. Remember that any drug you put into your body can have adverse effects that don't show up for many months or even years. So caution is the rule of thumb with any new drugs. The exact mechanism of mRNA vaccines, whereby our bodies are turned into autoimmune machines fighting antigens that we are creating, is a real concern to me. People need to realize that there are no free rides. There are risks to every drug that you put into your body. These risks are intensified with inadequate testing prior to distribution, which was the case with vaccines for COVID-19. If you abuse your body and think there's a quick fix, I feel sorry for you. The secret to health is not man-made toxins that screw with your body's immunity. It is stress control, diet, avoiding toxins, and a strong mind-body connection. Until next time, it's my hope that you are able to connect with the healing vibrations of creation which surround you.